So I have in front of me two Starlink units. I have a Gen 2 standard actuated, and then the newest dish, which is the Gen 3 standard. And you'll notice that this one does not have the mast and the standard tripod looking base thing. It just has this little kickstand. And this is great for ground level installations, but maybe you like the old style. Maybe you liked having the dish off the ground. And even though this doesn't have motors or an automatically rotating mast, you still want to have it elevated a little bit. So Starlink has got you covered because this is a brand new product that they've just released. This thing right here. This is the standard X-frame base, and we're going to take a look at it in this video. Comes with a nice instruction sheet. I promise you it's very simple, so we don't need that. But this is what comes in the kit. So you have this kind of iconic X-frame base here. It's actually the same dimensions, same everything as the Gen 2 version. It's just now adapted for the Gen 3 with this mast and this adapter plate. So this is the X-frame. Let's set this aside. And here is your mast section. So like I had mentioned, the Gen 3 doesn't ship with any kind of mast to be able to elevate it anyway, so they had to provide this in the kit. And the way this works is it hooks into this adapter plate. So this is what is going to slide into the Gen 3 standards mounting mechanism, and you just snap these two together. I like that they have included now the little dots. If you've seen any of my other Gen 3 mount videos, you always see me struggling with which direction to put this. Now they figured that out and just put dots there. So you just line up the dots and this snaps. Locks in place. Looks like it doesn't snap anymore. And I don't know if they actually made this easier to get back out, but I can never get these back out. So once you put it in there, it's basically locked in there. So that's step one. Step two is to remove your kickstand from your Gen 3 standard dish. You just do that by lifting up on this tab and sliding it out. It just pops right out. And the next step, I don't have my cable here with me, but you're supposed to route one end of the Gen 3 cable through this slot right here, up through the mast, comes out the top. Go ahead and plug it in to your Gen 3, and then you slide this adapter plate into place. You hear that loud click, so it's locked into place. Let's get rid of the box. Bring our X-frame base over, and we can slide it right in. And it clicks into place. Let me put these side by side. So check that out. That's pretty cool, right? You have the Gen 2 standard actuated, and now you have the Gen 3 with the same kind of mount. If you are a camper, if you're a digital nomad and you like to be able to get your Starlink out, set it up at camp really quickly, and you don't want it on the ground, I use my Gen 3 for camping, and I know the problems that are associated with that. You know, it rains, and the dish that's sitting on the ground, it gets muddy, it turns into a mess, it can get damaged, it gets scratched up. But with this standard X-frame base, now you can get it off the ground. So pretty neat there. By the way, $75 is the price from Starlink, and that's kind of outrageous in my opinion. I don't know who's going to buy it at this price point. I get why you would want something like this for the Gen 3, but not at that price point. The other issue I see here is that it uses the same Gen 2 locking mechanism. So it's just got this push pin right here to separate it. Ugh. Of course, I'm not gonna be able to get it off. Just like that, so you'll hear it click into place. Problem is there's no way to actually rotate this in the X-frame. So you have to physically rotate the whole thing to be able to do the alignment. And it does have these 4 mounting holes, so if you wanted to use this as more of a permanent mounting solution for some kind of flat roof or whatever with the Gen 3, you can do that as well. And I think that's probably another use case for who this standard X-frame base is for, because this kickstand, while it did have holes, it was made out of plastic, and it's kind of awkward to be able to try to bolt this down to a flat surface with the dish so close. So this X-frame base gives you that ability with a sturdy metal base and then the 4 mounting holes, and you're not dealing with plastic or anything like that. And you're elevated off the ground. All right, so that's all I had for today. That is the standard X-brand base from Starlink. Kind of a weird niche accessory, but you know, if you have a Gen 3 standard and you want it off the ground like a more traditional iconic Starlink look, this is your product. As always, I appreciate you watching. Let me know if you have any comments or questions in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.